who said a three-wheeler auto has to be boring? Clearly, Pratap Bose hasn't. We know your design philosophy. We know how you challenge everything, even an auto today. So just get us into it. What were some of the design philosophies that led to a design that we have in front of us, Mahindra UDO?
So, look, this shape of an auto hasn't changed for 75 years.
Yeah.
And when we were conceptualizing the UDO with the team at LMM, they were going to bring a lot of electromechanical, sort of innovation. And we shared some of that with you today. So we felt that, it's time to create a new iconic shape for three-wheelers. And, that's exactly what we've done with UDO. It's bold, it's unmissable, it's one of, it reflects where we are as a company.
Correct.
And where we are as a country. You can't, get off at the most beautiful, advanced airports, or get off a Vande Bharat, or get off, the bullet train soon, and get into an auto rickshaw which was designed in the 50s.
Right.
It needs to be something for the times and for the future.
Yeah, newness, tech savvy,
yes.
Smarter.
Yes.
Take us through some of the design elements that you think will stand out for the audience that you're targeting.
So, look, it's much more than skin deep, and we always say that. So the first thing is this large windscreen. It's bigger than, it's 200% larger than anything that's out there now. Why? This is because, in India, you are sometimes driving in very narrow lanes, very tight traffic. So the visibility for the driver is extremely important. So this is what gives this unhindered, like an aeroplane, this unhindered visibility. Then, of course, it's an all metal body. There's metal everywhere. That, that sense of solidity, of being well built comes from that. And
monocoque as well.
And
so that
exactly. The monocoque, it's a much stiffer chassis. So you will not feel those creaks and, those twists that you feel in these autos from the last century, right? So, and then of course the headlamps, makes it instantly recognizable. So when you see it, you will choose to ride in a UDO. I mean, people say there's no passenger choice. Actually, there is, and there will be. When people see the UDO, even if it's two sort of vehicles behind another one, they'll probably wait for it.
Yeah, I can see a lot of similarities of what you've tried to do with the BE Born Electric range as well. Coming to that, like you always say, it's Bombay to Banbury. How the design studios have sort of collaborated and derived from
learnings,
each other. Yeah, just give me a sense of how the SUV portfolio design learnings have sort of translated into this, because there's an all new category that you're talking about.
Correct. Look, the driver ergonomics, for example, where the controls are. Then the driver utility, the kind of screen we've given him or her.
Yeah.
There's charging, 2 charging points, front and rear, lockable storage, bottle holder, speakers, the size and density of the seats. The driver's seat is 20% larger than anything that's out there.
Yeah.
So driver ergonomics plays a huge role, and I mentioned that in some of the features, but also the passenger. So the kind of knee room you have, keeping some little knickknacks in the door, being able to put bags at the back. These are all sort of very passenger vehicle, derived concepts. And the person is the same, the human being is the same. So we felt that why don't we bring some of those learnings into this and make it a truly unique product.
Right. But do you expect like a niche offering in certain markets, or do you think it'll have like a mass appeal? Because with passenger vehicles, it's a different story. People are willing to spend here. Price propensity, again, is a big factor. So how do you sort of look at the overall adoption curve?
So as you know, we already are market leaders, and we've sold, over 3 lakh EVs. And we also have a product called the Treo. So the Treo is a sort of way into the category, but there are many Treo owners who now have fleets. They have up to 10, 20 Treos themselves. We feel a lot of them will also buy these as additional vehicles. Then with the financing that we've done, it makes it very, the access or accessibility, financial accessibility is is much better
Right.
for a product like this. And also the total cost of ownership. You know, when people see the TCO benefit, so in 5 years you save around 4 lakh rupees. That is a huge benefit for a customer in this segment.
Yeah.
So while yes, we may start, you know, from urban or metros, we've seen this in SUVs as well. You know, rural and semi-rural India doesn't want to be
Bigger
left
markets.
behind,
Yeah.
and they will come and you know, also adopt this.
Yeah.
So I would love, you know, a pan-India, pan-city presence with the UDO.
Yeah, but then any cities that you've identified, and because again, passenger vehicle, very different psyche, they want to stand out. But while you were researching, because you had a elaborate presentation of how much design iterations it
Yes.
went through, for example.
Yes.
So what were some of the learnings from the Indian market, because this is a very Indian product?
Yeah. No, so I think driver comfort was one, and passenger comfort. The convenience, you know, you don't want to, even if it's a last mile, let's say it's the last 2 or 3 kilometers from a metro station to your house, or from the metro station to the office, people don't want to get jangled around in a tin can, right? They still want that last mile to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, where the stress is, the chassis design, or the architecture, the platform itself. You know, the way we finished everything, it gives you that, you know, it doesn't have to be it's almost like the last smile, you know, and I call it, that's what I call these vehicles actually. They are the last smile.
Yeah.
And we see, you know, like you said, we've not designed it with any less care. In fact, we've considered more elements in designing this, because it has to, of course, be built to a cost. It has to be packable. It has to be shippable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that comes into it. So we've really designed it as a product design
Correct.
You know, creation.
Yeah, you've also spoken about how this was one of the most interesting projects you've worked on, and we've seen like Mahindra slate, how big and bigger the better than it's getting in terms of design. So talk about some of the challenges, because like you said, packaging it at a certain price point with the kind of design elements that you're offering, it seems like almost like a dream. How did you do that? How much of a challenge was that?
You know, the team was very, very keen of creating something unique, but not making it unaccessible. I think that's that balance, you know, and it's more acute in vehicles like this, you know. But you cannot, you know, only design to a cost and say, you know, this is designed to cost. There is a level of aspiration which cuts across cities. It cuts across socio-economic strata, and it cuts across segments. So we've seen this in tractors. We've of course seen it in SUVs, and you know, I'm convinced it exists even here.
Yeah.
You want to be seen in a certain type of vehicle. Like I said, my dream is, if you know, this rocks up in front of a 5-star hotel and the person gets off without any, you know, embarrassment or shame. This is what it should be. You know, it's a truly unique, eco-friendly mode of transport, but it needs that, you know, level of aspiration, and I think that's what we've built into it.
Right. You've already had like hill hold. We've never thought that we'll have features like hill hold and a lot of like digital screens into this category.
Reverse throttle.
Exactly. It's crazy. But then what are some of the other trends in terms of tech and connectivity that you will see in this category evolving, maybe, you know, 5-10 years into the future?
So look, this is already, you know, we have the Nemo app. You know, the Mahindra Nemo app. So again, a fleet owner can check all of that. So in terms of being connected, you know, telematics, so they know where each of the vehicles are. We've got the best componentry in the EPT, or the electronic powertrain. They are all IP67 certified.
Right.
You know, so there's been no, like I said, there's no corners cut. There's no quarters given. There's no, there isn't any less care in anything we've done. We've done what's appropriate for this segment, and we think that this will really truly set the benchmark.
Sure. You've always spoken about how China's turnaround speeds are sort of keeping all automakers globally on their feet. As a designer, leave us with how difficult is it to design for India today, because we're looking at global competition. Leave aside the category. when
Yeah.
you as a designer, when you look at, when you
Any
go back
product.
to the
Yeah.
drawing board, AI is sort of like an
Yeah.
assistant today. So, but how challenging is the VUCA world today, and getting those turnaround times lower and lower? How
Yeah.
difficult is that?
Look, if I tell you where Mahindra was, or the industry in general was, 5 or 6 years ago, it would have taken us close to 6 years to design a SUV or design a vehicle.
Yeah.
Today, Mahindra, we are already at 30 or so months from scratch.
Yeah.
New products. So you see that in our UVs or our BEVs.
Yeah.
We are able to turn around products from sheet of paper to sheet of steel in 30 months. And we are always challenging that timeline. And, because India is as global a market as anywhere else.
Correct.
So we always, in fact, think and behave like we are designing for the world.
Right.
Even if the product's not being sold in a part of the world, we know that, customers today can access information about any product from anywhere. And they expect that. And this is across categories.
Yes.
So yes, the effort is always to be faster, be more efficient. Our iterations are less now compared to earlier. We use a lot of digital tools in all our products. Again, this we did a clay model, but we also went very quickly to 3D digital modeling.
Yeah.
We work with suppliers much earlier. So we are taking lessons, but we are also creating benchmarks ourselves.
Correct, yeah.
And,
like for CVs, is design going to be a big differentiator? Because like you said, for 75 odd years, we've never had design at least as a differentiator for this category.
Yes. I think it will be, because as any category gets populated or overpopulated, people look out for differentiation.
Yeah.
But I must say, in commercial vehicles or vehicles like this, it's very important to keep the function. Form and function go hand in hand.
Yeah.
It can't be styling. That's why I said, when we introduce the IntelliCore design philosophy, we have hardcore for SUVs. This is IntelliCore. It's designed with a certain, rationale, a judgment, form and function, fit.
That has to be a prime focus.
It has to, because people don't buy these for styling.
Correct.
They buy it as a overall package.
Yeah, utility has to come first.
Has to come first. So there's no compromise or sacrifice of that.
Right. All right. I'm waiting for more interesting products from the Mahindra portfolio overall. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending time with Autocar.
Thank you.